let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no change, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You already know it is Wednesday night. It is 9:30. It is prime time. That's where we are. Cowboys Weekly. My name is Paul Spencer. That man right there is the college football professor. My co-host, Eddie Prather. Eddie, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Pretty happy about our game Sunday.
Yeah, you can tell when we win, Eddie, because the enthusiasm is a little bit better. You know, when I open the show, I try to make it the same every week, but when we win, I just feel a little bit better, man. You know, I feel like just, you know what, follow the momentum here. We came off of a win, but you're right, Eddie. Big win, man. Division win. Hey, I don't care. A lot of people told me this, Eddie. Whoa, Terry McLaurin didn't play. Debo didn't play. But, Eddie, isn't it funny how when we play a team that's banged up, it's all about who we play and who's banged up. But when other teams play them, they don't say that. It's all about who's on your schedule, right? I mean, I guess it's just because people hate the Cowboys. Am I correct?
And a lot of petty jealousy out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, next man up, we know that the mentality in the NFL. But, you know, if you catch a team when they're injured at the right time, you know, I always say you caught them at the right time. You know, speaking of a division rival, you look at the Eagles when they got the Chiefs. My God, they had three wide receivers out. You caught them at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Oh, well, it happens in the NFL, but you don't make the schedule. You don't cause the injuries. You don't hold the injuries. You don't make the injuries. Just beat who's on your schedule here. But got a couple comments real quick. Michael Papernick checking. He's like, yo, fellas. And he says, yo, Eddie. Every time I hear that, it reminds me of, what's his name? God, Eddie Murphy when he said, yo, Eddie. From Eddie Murphy Raw. Oh, man. But, Eddie, let's get into this game, man. Hey, 44-22, Cowboys, division game. We got the win. Eddie, first let's talk about what we can't stand on this team. Let's talk about this defense still, Eddie, okay? They're getting better. They played man this week, Eddie. They don't play man-to-man. But, man, they played a lot of man-to-man this week. Were you surprised?
Yeah, but it sure looked better than the crap that they had been playing in recent weeks.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie, it's kind of bad when, you know, we talked about this, 3 weeks ago when they play like the Bears and teams like that where you have 7 DBs in the game, Eddie, 7 DBs, and you let players get behind you when you play zone. And this is on the goal line too, you know, the 10-yard line, so you're only playing 30 yards of the ball. But you're right, this looked a lot different, Eddie, regardless of Debo being out, McLaurin being out too. But the defense, Eddie, one thing is they didn't play 9 yards off the ball against the wide receivers. They played 5 yards still off the ball, but it's a lot better than playing 10 yards off the ball, Eddie. You know, that's the one thing I noticed first right there.
I think it also helped our defense that we didn't have that bum Diggs in playing. Mr. Concussion at home.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him, Eddie. We're going to talk about him in a little bit here, but I want to talk about the players that are on this field here. Now, the one thing I really want to talk about, okay, Elam played pretty good on Sunday. He played great. I was surprised, regardless of who you're sticking on the offensive side of the ball. He looked okay. Deron Bland did get beat on a couple in routes. He did get beat on shallow routes, but he made up for it, Eddie. We've seen that. Mr. Pick Six himself, you know. But going back to that play, you think that was just a bad ball, Eddie? Because he did make a nice break on the ball, too. But on that, Mariota was dropping back, falling down, and he threw it across body, you know, just to get it out there. It looked like he was just trying to get it to a receiver. and avoid the sack and intentional grounding. But you can't take away Bland, man. Making the read, coming up, biting on the ball, making the jump, taking it to the house. And what better way to say Bland pick six? Something we've seen, 5 times a couple years ago? 5 times in one season?
Nice to see Pick Six, Mr. Pick Six back.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I was watching on Facebook, Eddie. How they do like the sideline, camera talk, how they're talking while listening to the players on the sideline, and it was so funny when Bland picked that off. After he scored, he's on the sideline. I think he's talking to a couple guys, Pickens and someone else. He's like, "Man, I'm just glad that lineman didn't catch me, because that lineman almost caught him, Eddie. That was coming downfield, almost got him." And he was like, "Man, that would have been kind of embarrassing if I get caught by a 350-pound lineman, not going to the house." But hey, DaRon Bland, man, pick six. I mean, he played great. He I don't want to say he's 100% back, Eddie, but man, he made some tackles too. 7 tackles, 5 solos by himself. But Tadiki Bridges played pretty good too, Eddie. I mean, Reddy Stewart played pretty good too. The other corners are playing good. Opposite, since Diggs is not playing, forget Diggs. We'll talk about him in a minute. But are you okay, Eddie, with the safeties and the corners? Because that's our problem. Are you okay with them?
I think, like Elam, I think is better playing man to man than playing the zone. I think our players are better fit for the man to man than for the zone defense.
I agree. I mean, when you play man to man, you're. I want to say, you're not on an island by yourself. You're going to still have a cover 2 safety help, but knowing that our safeties are so bad, Eddie, but the one thing that I really think that helped us out this week, we talked about this last week, Eddie, Marquise Bell starting at safety. That was a huge help in the secondary. We talked about this. The guy can play linebacker. He played an entire year at linebacker for us when we were banged up 2 years ago, leading tackler for the Dallas Cowboys, a safety corner coming down playing linebacker. He goes back to safety. Eddie, 6 tackles, 5 solos, nothing behind him at all, didn't get beat. That tells me, like, okay, now we find a safety. It's not Malik Hooker. Okay, it's gotta be Marquise Bell. But to me, the weakest link in the secondary is still, we have to talk about this name, Donovan Wilson. Still. What do we do with this guy, Eddie? I mean, Eddie, he had some tackles, okay? He had some tackles. The crazy thing is, he does get tackles. He had well, this week he only had 1 tackle. But I just don't know, Eddie. To me, he's a linebacker. He's a linebacker. That's all he is. He's not a cover safety. He can't stick anybody. He gets lost. He can't make the reads, and he just doesn't understand assignment football. So what can we do on this defense to be better than we were against the Commanders last week? What can we do?
To me, the 2 safeties when it should be Bill and Hooker when Hooker's is healthy, and I would have Donovan.
Yeah.
To me, Donovan Wilson, he's a kickoff special. He's a Suicide Squad guy. He can tackle and stuff. That's why I would put him on the Suicide Squad. He's not a safety.
Yeah, I feel that he can play defense, but you got to put him in on the linebacking core. If you're just running a jailhouse blitz on the safety, the corner, goes out with the wide receiver. He comes off the edge. He has the power. He can run stop you. He can tackle, but it's just assignment football to the point where, Eddie, you know what? I need you to run at the A gap. Eddie's right there. Boom, it's a done deal. 2-yard loss on the play. But Eddie, if I say, hit that A, he should be running up the A gap. Well, you see him bounce out. You're still running up the A gap. That's Donovan Wilson. He doesn't know where to go. His assignment IQ is just not what NFL is compatibility to me. But what do you think about this, Eddie, before we go to the offense? Because the offense, man, this offense is nasty. But what do you think about moving maybe a Reddy Stewart, a Kamir Elam? Because Ravel, I think, is coming back in a week too. I mean, he was out this week just precautionary, but he'll be back, Eddie. He's more of a hybrid corner than an Elam and a Stewart. What do you think maybe moving Elam back to safety maybe if Donovan Wilson gets beat anymore?
who's the biggest of the three corner. I know Rebel is a superior cornerback. He's a speedy guy. So
Yeah, I think he's 6'3". I think he's 6'3". I think he has a size.
Right now, let's see. I would like to have Rebel his first game. I would like Rebel to be like come off the bench to get some time on the building.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they're going to throw him in to start.
Who's bigger between Elam and Grady?
I think Elam is a little bit bigger. I think they're both hybrid, like 6 foot, 6'1", something like that. Reddy Stewart is the smallest guy. I think he's barely hitting 6 foot, Eddie. Elam is the lightest in stature.
I would let them both practice some at safety just to see who looks better than whoever looks better. Put them at safety.
I agree. And the other guy, the crazy thing is, this is what kind of shocked me a little bit. Did you notice who played defense in the second half, Eddie? A running back was playing linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. Did you notice that? When Kenneth Murray went out for the injury, remember when he got hurt? Okay, for a couple plays. Did you see the running back that came in and played linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys for 4 plays?
I missed that. Was it Malik?
No, it was Malik Davis.
No, that's what I said. Malik.
Malik Davis came in. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, wait a minute. That can't be Malik Davis. Did we get another guy, Davis, here? Who's this guy? Malik Davis came in and played linebacker for 4 plays. And Eddie, he made 3 tackles.
I wonder if he had played some linebacker maybe in high school.
I don't know, but I was surprised.
I'm just glad that he's still. I'm glad that he was on practice squad now that they have an option to as a second running back behind Devontae instead of low IQ boy.
I know, right? But a positive thing about this defense too, Eddie, was we talked about this guy, Shamar James out of Florida. This kid is nasty, man. He's nasty. 9 tackles, 5 solos. I mean, you talk about our linebacking core. We just opened up the 20-day window for Overshown coming back in 21 days regarding any injuries. But, Eddie, you think about these linebackers. We talked about this. We said these 3 names, Eddie: Kenneth Murray, Shamar James, and Overshown. These 3 linebackers, when they're playing together, I think they will be great. I think our front 7 will be a lot better than people think it will be. It's just a problem with the secondary again. But Shamar James, man, this kid off the edge, the way he's playing is insane to me. The only guy that I really want to get more time in is still James Houston. I got to get James Houston more. But I do think they're going with Javon Clowney. He played a good game, 6 tackles, a sack, looked good. But maybe it's, what? This is what I heard. Let me know if you think the same way here. I was listening to somebody, a podcaster who does Dallas Cowboy podcasting as well, out of Dallas, and I chimed in, and I said we got to get Houston more playing time. We got to get him on the field, during a game, a regular live game. He told me, now he covers them. He goes down to the practices and he follows the team. Of course, he writes for them. He told me, he's like, Paul, I get what you're saying, but the problem is, he's not a 3-down defensive end. His motor is not a 3-down defensive end. It's a positional time when he comes in to make the big plays. What do you think about that? Because I go back and look at it, Eddie. When we put him in, he makes the sack. He makes the stop. He makes the pressure. Maybe we're not seeing this. The coaches are saying, okay, he's not a 3-down defensive end. He's a get him in there, 3rd down, bull rush to the quarterback, make a stop. Maybe you think that's what it is too, that we're not seeing that?
I just think he'd still be a better option than some of the other defensive ends, like Clown Williams.
Well, I mean, Clowney did play pretty good, Eddie. 5 tackles, 1 solo.
I said Williams, Clown Williams. I mean, Sam Williams.
Oh, yeah, Sam Williams, Mr. MIA again, his 4th year in the league. I'm done with him, Eddie. I'm done with him. 100%. Yeah, let's see. I want to look at his stats real quick. Yeah, he didn't even play this week, did he? He didn't even look like he played this week. Nothing for him this week, Eddie. Nothing. So yeah, James Houston opposite of Clowney there. Odiggy in the middle with Kenny Clark. I think that's a nice front four right there. Then you can bring Solomon Thomas in if you want to. Fowler. What would you do with Fowler then?
To me, Fowler looks like he's pretty much toast.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think he's lost a step, Eddie. I really do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think he used up whatever he had left last year in his season with.
Agree, 100%, 100%. I mean, what overall grade, Eddie? Now, listen, I know we played Washington banged up. 2 starting wide receivers out. Not starting quarterback got hurt. The second half there. We still won the game. What grade do you give, Eddie, on this defense? Because I know we played a banged up Commander team, but we played a lot better. We showed something we didn't do. We played man this week, not zone. We recovered. We gave up 22 points, a couple bad plays there, here and there, bad penalties, of course. But what grade do you give this defense last week?
A B minus.
Okay. I was going to go like a B minus as well, maybe a solid B there, because there's still a lot that we have to work on. I mean, there was a lot of holes that were left wide open, a lot of bad coverages as well. Still, the secondary is not a level to where I think we should be yet, putting people in the right position. So I got to give him a B minus too. But I think we want to flip over to the other side here, because I don't think we're going to talk about an F, D, C, or B. I think we're going to give a higher grade on the offense here. Dak Prescott, man, 31 for 20, 21 out of 30, 264, 3 TDs, no picks, 1 sack. Dak Prescott, MVP so far.
He's definitely in the conversation along with other guys like Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is having an MVP type of season so far.
Yeah. I mean, usually you talk about the quarterback first, but you're right. Jonathan Taylor's having one hell of a year right now. I mean, his numbers are just mind-blowing the way he's running the ball. And the crazy thing is, Eddie, they were up twice during the season by over 20 points, and he didn't play the second half. So just imagine, if he's playing 60 minutes of football, his numbers are going to be boosted at least another, you figure 60 yards in the second half times 2, another 120 yards, they would be increased by that. But they sat him out a couple of times because they were so far ahead. You're right about that. Let's go to the rushing game here. Man, Javonte Williams coming from the week before, 28 yards. This time, 19 carries, 116, 1 TD. Man, Javonte Williams is playing his ass off right now, Eddie. He really is.
Yeah, but it would be nice if he was able to catch the he passed the ball out of the backfield. But
yeah. I mean, you miss those days of like the Zeke screen. You know what I mean? Like Zeke could catch the hell of a screen, run downfield. Javonte Williams, if he could get that screen game going, or that, just that slant, the check down, man, just imagine the yards. He could be like a Jamar Gibbs, basically, not with the speed, but with that kind of power and ability. He could be something like that, Eddie. But the other guy, man, can we talk about this guy, Eddie? Mr. IQ on offense here, Jaden Blue. Okay, 7 carries, 29 yards. Eddie, all the talent in the world with the speed, but the IQ level is not there, Eddie. I just don't get it. Don't get it.
Yeah. Speed doesn't mean much. Doesn't make you a good football player.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You're right. And in the back room before we went live, Eddie, I was telling you, I was watching an analyst talk about it, where he had a carry, and it was designed to go to the left side behind Tyler Smith and Guyton there, and it was a clear hole, Eddie. It was just an ISO to the outside corner in between tackles on the left side. Eddie, the hole was there. I mean, Guyton was already about on the second level. He chipped the defensive end, getting the outside linebacker. Tyler Smith already creased the inside linebacker. The hole was there, and it was like a single high safety, Eddie, and he bounced it to the right side. You gotta have the trust in your offensive lineman that they know the play too. It's 11 guys, 1 play. I get it. If the hole's not there, you bounce out. But Eddie, man, you could drive a freaking Mack truck through this hole. Amazing.
Stevie Wonder could have seen that hole.
Hell, I think when I was watching the game, I thought I heard somebody scream. It might have been Stevie Wonder saying, "Damn, did you see that hole?" Like it was. I went back and watched it. And I'm like, "There's no way. Maybe this is photoshopped or whatever." I looked at that hole and I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! You got to be kidding me!" Where the hole was right there, and you went to the line of scrimmage and you bounced, made a jump cut to the right side and got 1 yard, Eddie. And this was I think it was at the Commanders' 44-yard line, 44 or 47. Eddie, this was a touchdown. An easy walk to the end zone with his speed. You're not catching him. One safety, one-on-one. He could have got to the second level at least for a 10-yard carry there. But he bounced to the right and got 1 yard. I guess it's the Louis Vuitton shoes that he's still too tight. I don't know with this kid. I really don't know with Jaden Blue. But what other option we have, Eddie? Maffa's not ready to come back. He's still IR, okay? Malik Davis, we have him playing linebacker right now, but I guess our only option is Jaden Blue because Miles Sanders is still injured, right?
I would say I would rather give a chance to Malik Davis, even if it means playing both ways.
Yeah, I think it was just, I don't even know why he played defense, like 4 snaps. I couldn't believe it. But Eddie, we're going to talk about free agent deadline coming up in November here. It comes up. We have about 2.5 weeks to talk about that. But, let's talk about the wide receivers here, Eddie. Oh, my God, Eddie. Eddie, I don't care what people say. I don't care about what people say out there. You can talk about Justin Jefferson, Addison. You can talk about Chase and Higgins. Eddie, let's talk about Lamb and Pickens, Eddie. Let's talk about that. I don't want to hear Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. One good game between both of them. And then when one of them's out, the other one doesn't show up, okay? Well, we have wide receivers. One shows up, they both show up. One's not playing, the other shows up and shows out. Eddie, 5 catches for CD coming back, 110, 1 touchdown, a bomb of 74. CD, that's his stats there. Now you go to Pickens, 4 for 82, a bomb for 44. Eddie, both of these receivers, 192 yards, Eddie, on 9 catches, almost an average of 21 yards per catch. The best combo in the NFL.
And we can't forget about our tight end.
Oh, we didn't even mention Jake. Yeah, we didn't mention Fergie yet. I mean, right now he's leading the league in catches, Eddie. A tight end, Jake Ferguson. I mean, his yards weren't great this week, Eddie. 7 catches, 29. But once again, here's the thing. Here's the mind-blowing stat, Eddie. Last week, he had 8 catches, 8 for 8. This week, 7 for 7. You throw the ball, he catches ball. It's just one of those things. Throw ball, catch ball. That's what he does. 2 TDs this week. Amazing.
Jake Ferguson's just like Chris Carter. He either catches first downs or touchdowns.
Basically, yeah. I mean, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. And the mind-blowing stat is, like I said, 7 for 7 on accuracy, but 2 touchdowns. We talked about we don't have a red zone threat. We always throw that fade ball to Dez Bryant. We always throw the fade ball to CD. We always throw the fade ball to Pickens. We got Jake Ferguson in the middle here, man. Jake Ferguson in the red zone now. We have another weapon in the red zone. We have 4 weapons now, Eddie. Pickens, Lamb, Fergie, Williams. We have weapons in the red zone now. Finally.
And Shoemaker's not a bad inside the 5-yard line either catching.
No, he's a big guy, but right now, I mean, he didn't even play this week, Eddie. He didn't get no catches, no looks, nothing this week. But Turpin, 1 catch for 17. Tolbert, 1 for 16. Jaden Blue caught 1 ball, 1 for 5. Hunter Lemke had 1 for 3. Javonte Williams, you talked about this. 4 looks, 1 catch, Eddie. You got to catch the damn ball coming out of the backfield, Javonte. That's the only downfall for him. 4 targets, 1 catch, 2 yards. That's it. But Eddie, the wide receivers, man, this offense is special. This offense is special, Eddie. We talked about the offensive line, Eddie. I mean, we talked about it backstage. You got to give Riley a lot of credit come Kansas State. He only had a starting unit in 1 week so far in week 7 here. And this offensive line, to me, yeah, I think they're top 5 in the NFL right now, honestly. Even with the backups we have, Eddie. I really do. They're playing some ball.
To me, they're a top 3 offensive line right now, along with the Colts. is still probably number one.
Yeah. And, a lot of people look at it like, oh, you're not that good. Well, Dak's only been sacked 3 times this entire year, Eddie. 3 times this entire year. And we've only had our starting 5 in 1 time this entire year. You've had Hoffman in, you've had TJ Bass in, okay? You've had players in backup roles step in here to play this offensive line. And, having Booker come back last week, which was great. Just imagine when BB comes back. Now you have the depth where you can move Hoffman to guard or center just in case. You can move Bass to, both positions as well. That to me, the offensive line is right now really, even though Dak's playing MVP level, Lamb, Pickens are playing MVP level. My MVP right now is a coach, Riley, out of Kansas State. The way he's gelled this offensive line is really something special, Eddie, because we talked about it off season. God, what's this offensive line going to look like? 4 position players out of position in their second year or less. It's something crazy here. But then when Kansas State, got that call and say, hey, bring him on over, he's an offensive line whisperer. He is, Eddie.
And if you notice, Kansas State is struggling with running the ball this year.
100%. A lot of people didn't understand. We watch a lot of college football, Eddie, and Kansas State runs that ball right up the middle between tackles, getting in space. And this year, they don't understand the scheme here, Eddie, without Riley there. So hey, thank you for going out. That's one good move Shoddy made to get him aboard for us. Great move there. But what grade are we talking offense here, Eddie?
An A+.
100%. The only downfall I see is Javonte Williams has to catch the ball in the backfield, Eddie. I mean, you're going to have hot alerts out there where, next week we're going to play Denver coming up here. They blitz a lot, Eddie. They blitz. And when you're going to blitz, I mean, you have to have that keyword check down when your running back has to come out of the backfield, get a chip on. He's going to be the X factor, 3 to 5 yards down there. He's going to be the safety valve. And Eddie, 4 targets, 1 catch, 2 yards for Javonte Williams. That doesn't cut it with me. It doesn't, But overall, Eddie, how do we give this grade last week with the Dallas Cowboys winning 44-24, 44-22 against the banged up Washington Commanders? Overall grade.
An A.
An A. Okay, solid A. Okay, yeah. I'm going to give him an A too because I hate giving credit to Eberflus a little bit, but he got away from the zone. He played man to man. And what better way? What I like about it is you played man to man against a lesser team. Without McLaurin, without Debo, just to see what your man to man team can do, and not play zone and possibly get beat with the struggles we had. I like how he came out and played man just to see how pieces fit, Eddie. You know what I mean? That's what I like to see. But let's move on forward to this week here against Denver. But before we do that, Eddie, I just want to let you know, I wasn't going to come on here real quick because I was in my kitchen and I fell and I almost had a concussion. Okay. So I don't know because I was benched last week, so I thought I would fall in my kitchen and get a concussion. Let's talk about Trayvon Diggs real quick, Eddie. I mean, Eddie, he's been benched. He's been burnt. He's been ridiculed. He's been talked about. You almost lose your job. You're on the trade block. A day before the game, Eddie, you fall in your house and you get a concussion. Eddie, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit right away. That's bullshit to me. Writing's on the wall. Writing's on the wall, Eddie.
Yeah. Diggs, you can take your man crush to Green Bay and be with your best buddy.
Thank you. Eddie, he has checked out ever since the Micah Parsons drama hit Dallas Cowboy land. He has checked out. He doesn't look the same. He looks like a kid that just lost his dog. That's what he looks like. On the sidelines, moping, walking around, even in practice the same way. Eddie, I think the writing's on the wall. I think it was just a PR thing, whatever happened. I don't know if it is or not, but Schottenheimer doesn't play games, Eddie. He made a statement to Mozzie Smith. Remember last game of the regular season or preseason? He played the entire game, okay? And now you're a first-round pick, and you're the fourth defensive tackle that we have on the roster. So, Diggs, you're a former first-round pick for us, and you get a concussion out of the blue here? Eddie, the writing's on the wall. The trade deadline's coming up. Let's talk about Trayvon Diggs possibly, Eddie. Are we willing to give him up? 3 years left on his contract. I think it's 17, 18, and $20 million contract next 3 years. Salary cap hit is 17, 18, and 19. If we can trade him, we bite the $17 million cap hit, Eddie, dead cap space, which goes up next year. Do we let him go, Eddie? Do we let him go?
Send him packing.
What
Send
do,
his packing.
Okay, is this the situation? The way he's playing right now, Eddie, there's only one team that I think he could ball out with, and that's the Green Bay Packers, because he wants to be with his best friend, Micah Parsons. Again, if he goes somewhere else, he's just going to be, yes, how you doing, ma'am? Oh, this is Miss Diggs. How you doing, Miss Diggs? Yeah, Trayvon fell this morning. He got out of the bathtub and fell again. He's got another concussion. That's the way it's going to happen if he plays anywhere else, Eddie. Green Bay, he's going to be at the facility at Lambeau with Micah Parsons before the game, even before everybody comes to the practice. He's going to be that way. But, Eddie, we made some bad decisions in the past with compensation. Eddie, you're not going to get a damn thing for Trayvon Diggs with his contract and the way he's playing. If I call you and I say, hey, how about a 5th-round pick next year? Bite the bullet on this year's contract. We'll pay him. We'll pay the salary cap hit. If they take the contract, Eddie, you cool with that? With the 5th-round pick?
Yes.
I am too. Ship him off. I'll drive him myself. I'll drive him to the airport myself.
There's one more team I think he would fall for, and that would be if he joined his brother in New England.
Oh, they've always talked about playing together, because you remember a couple years ago when Diggs, went to Houston first, they talked about him coming to Dallas here, playing brother versus brother. That might be an option too, Eddie. I mean, that might be a good thing too. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I mean, hopefully we can trade him. Do you think, honestly, before the trade deadline, he's shipped off, Eddie?
I think his time in Dallas is about to be over.
But what bothers me the most is I'm listening to Jerry Jones's talk, on his radio thing, W105.3 The Fan or something like that. They had him on because, he's the only owner in the NFL that comes on a podcast and talks to a radio station before games and after. He said that when he's on the field, he's one of the best assets for the Dallas Cowboys, and we want to keep him here. Eddie, I don't know what Jerry Jones sees in him, but Jerry Jones is the master manipulator, where he can say something and just fire you the next breath out of his mouth. So, do you think he is traded though?
Yes, I do. I think Jerry's just blowing smoke to try and see if somebody they're offered to more like a 4th-rounder or 3rd-rounder.
That's crazy though, Eddie. We talked about possibly a defensive player of the year 3 years ago in Trayvon Diggs before he got his contract. Now to shipping him off for, hopefully we can get a 5th-round pick out of him. That's insane, Eddie. I mean, we talked about last year before the injuries happened. Man, if Diggs can play ball and Bland can play ball, we have the top 2 corners in the league as a tandem. Now we're shipping Diggs off for basically a bag of stale peanuts again, But do you think Siobhan Ravel can come in and, hopefully hold down the fort too with the Elam, with the greedy Stewart as well?
What I've seen of him before his knee injury, he looks like he has the skills. But
yeah.
So if his knee is 100%, I think he can do better than what Diggs has been doing the last couple of years.
Yeah, and if we figure out the safety, Eddie, I mean, I think they're going to keep Donovan Wilson as safety, honestly. But do you think that maybe the Dallas Cowboys go out and look for a safety or corner in the trade deadline here too? I think they do. I think they have the moves here. But to me, the number one move that you have to make before you sign anyone, as a rental or a long-term thing, is you got to sign George Pickens long-term, Eddie. Now. Sign him now. Get him locked up for 4 years. So you have Dak, you have Lamb, and you have CD. Your offensive line is locked up. We already signed big players there. Booker's on his rookie. BB's in his coming up on his 3rd year. They'll be signed as well. But to me, you got to take care of Pickens, because, Eddie, this was a lottery ticket from Pittsburgh dropped in your lap for nothing. It really was. And now you have to take advantage of it.
What do you think the price for Pickens would be right now? $30 million a year, or a little more?
Well, Eddie, you look at his numbers, man. I mean, he's outplaying Higgins, right? T. Higgins. He's outplaying really. God, honestly, he's outplaying freaking AJ Brown's contract. He's outplaying Devontae Smith's contract. He's really outplaying a Jamar Chase, but he's not going to get that money. We're talking CDs at what, 33 million a year, right?
Yeah,
We're probably going to put Pickens in probably the 25 to 30 million dollar range. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But Eddie, that's money well spent to me, right? Where he's proven
yeah,
if Lamb's out, he can be the number one wide receiver. And when Lamb's in there, Eddie, this is the combo that I've never seen. One ball, two wide receivers. They love each other scoring, Eddie. They don't care who scores. And it's just like a brother and brother playing together, Eddie. They want to see each other eat.
yeah. I'm just Lamb. I knew wasn't going to be a problem about having to share the ball. Lamb has
Yeah.
never been
Mm-hmm.
has never been a problem when it comes to stuff like that, even in college.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean Pickens. That was the big thing. His head philosophy. Coming from there, he's the type that likes to do. The the dances on the sideline. Lamb does too, but Pickens is that guy that he has a bad ball thrown to him. He drops it. He checks out. He checks out very easily. But this year he's checked into everything, and he making the catches. Couple bad balls dropped. Next play, boom, he catches it. He takes it. This is what we want. You got to lock him up now because to me, every day that he plays like this, Eddie, the price goes up. And Jerry has to get behind in front of the eight ball before the eight ball, sinks, and he gets behind that, Eddie, where you lose. You got to sign him now. But let's move on to this team here, Eddie. Man, talk about tale of two halves, Eddie. The Giants looked like they were going to kill the Denver Broncos last week. Eddie, I don't know what the hell happened. I like to be a fly on that wall in the locker room where Sean Payton just went off because they were down, 17 points at one point, Eddie? 17 points, I think, and came back and won 33 to 20, 33-32. Are we scared of Denver next week?
I think it was more of the Giants' defensive coordinator just a complete failure in the second half.
100%.
He should
100%.
Shane Bolin or whatever his name, Belden, or he should not have a job today. He should be just like that kicker that couldn't make an extra point for the Giants. Both gone.
Yeah, you said that correctly, Eddie. I mean, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, I don't know what he was thinking. You called a hell of a game in the first half, and then the second half, you just abandoned everything that worked on your script to the opposite of what you did. I don't know, but wow. With the Denver Broncos, Eddie, how do we match up with Denver here? Their offense doesn't scare me.
No, I'm not scared of Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix was a 1-year wonder. That team's finally got some tape on him, and look, he's been pretty mediocre this year.
Okay. I kind of like how you said that because, looking at his stats last week, we're going to go based on his stats. Eddie, he dropped back 50 times during that game. Barely 50%, 27 out of 50, 279. And here's the crazy thing. Dak had almost a 18 average yard per catch. Last week, Bo Nix only had a 5.6 average. Okay. And our corners, I think, are finally picking it up. 50 dropbacks and only 27 completions, Eddie. That's not Bo Nix football, is it?
He's a guy that depends on his legs more than throwing the ball 50 times.
I agree. And you said it perfectly right there with he relies on his legs too. Five rushes last week for 48 yards, 2 TDs, Eddie, by Bo Nix. And J.K. Dobbins, a guy that's been injury prone for most of his career, 14 carries, 81 yards, no TDs. It's kind of crazy when your quarterback has half the yards as your running back does, and almost the same amount, half the carries as well. Between those two right there, 129 yards on 19 carries. Here's the thing with me. If you put pressure on Bo Nix and your front seven play great, they shut down J.K. Dobbins, which I think you can very easily, and you play just man-to-man on these wide receivers and keep Bo Nix in the pocket where you don't give him lanes. I think Denver gets beat by the Dallas Cowboys this week, Eddie. I really do.
Denver's probably been a team that's been pretty lucky. At least two of their wins, they got very lucky. The Eagles having an incompetent offensive coordinator, and the New York Giants having an incompetent defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can see that's going to help Bo Nix is his wide receivers. Okay, Cortland Sutton, he has 6 catches for 87 last week, and then Marvin Mims as well. He's the more speed guy, 6 for 85. But I think Bland stays on his side wherever you're rotating. Bland's not going to cover on both sides. I think Elam, Stewart, maybe a Ravel comes in and spell him out a little bit too. I think if you shut down the running game and you make Bo Nix throw the ball 50 times a game, I'm okay to live with that, Eddie. Where both, wide receivers get 75 to 80 yards. I think I can live with that. But to me, Denver strives on the running game. If the running gets going with J.K. Dobbins and Bo Nix, that's where I think they're better. But I think if our front seven gets pressure on those two and makes Bo Nix beat you downfield, I think we have a better shot. I'll take my chances there to let Bo Nix beat me with his arm.
Look what Denver did the week before. What was it? 13 points against the New York Jets, for Pete's sakes.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I think I'm going back to that game. I think what Dobbins had 60 yards that game too, and Bo Nix struggled running the ball. To me, I think if you shut those two down and you make Bo Nix, you beat you with his arm. Pick your poison, and I'll take my chances with Bo Nix downfield. You just got to shut down Sutton and Mims there, Mims Jr. Evan Ingram, they're tight end. He's a good tight end, but he has a lot of bad drops. Yeah, he dropped 6 passes last week, 11 targets, dropped 6 of them. 5 for 42. But they don't scare me on offense, Eddie. They don't. And their offensive line can give up some sacks too. They can.
I think Dallas can have another decent game on defensive side against this offense. Like you said, Denver's offensive line isn't all that great.
Yeah, and you watch a lot of games. They don't attack Patrick Surtain. I mean, he is a all-world corner. We get that. He's a great corner, probably number 1 in the NFL. For deflections, stat-wise, they don't throw against him. Last week they threw 1 pass against him. Last week, Eddie, that was it. One ball thrown to his way. No catches against him. You're going to see the greatest thing with this team here, though. We've seen Lamb and Pickens play together. When you have Lamb's in by himself, you put the number 1 corner on Pickens, but he can still catch balls, Eddie. This week we have both our guys plus Fergie in the middle, okay? And Tolbert can play. Put a Turpin in a slot. Let Surtain stay on whoever you want, Lamb or CD, or Lamb or Pickens. Pick your poison. The other guy will be found. Dak will find you.
With Surtain, does he only play one side of the?
No, he actually moves. He actually moves side to side, Eddie. Yeah, he moves side to side. He's one of those rare corners where he will follow. If they have one elite wide receiver, if we didn't have Pickens, he would follow Lamb pretty much. The only thing he really doesn't play is the slot, and to me that's an advantage because CD's natural position is that slot.
I think you're thinking what I'm thinking right now.
That's what I mean. Hey, you know what? Yeah, put CD in a slot, make him run your third corner on him, a nickel corner, or you want to put a linebacker on him, go ahead. That's the 6 points right there. But I like our matchup here because CD's natural position has that slot. And when you put Surtain on the outside where he doesn't carry over to the slot, go ahead and cover Pickens all you want. Because I have the slot guy, I have Lamb in the slot, I have Fergie in the other slot coming across. Pick your poison because I can run Lamb on a deep route, go route, a 9 or up corner, a post, and Fergie can control the middle because we've seen Fergie. He can get deep and he can control the middle behind the linebackers too. So I like this one here. The one guy that scares me a little bit is Dre Greenlaw. No, and also, what's that? Go ahead.
He's suspended for a game. And they upheld that suspension.
So he's out this week?
Yep.
Oh, okay. See, that makes it a little bit better for me. I didn't even see that, Eddie. Okay. And the other guy that's leading, well, he's number 2 in sacks is this week in the NFL. What was his name? Yes. What was his name?
Bonetta or something like that.
Yes. But last week he didn't play that great, Eddie. I mean, the Giants O-line, really kept him in check, though. You know what I mean? They kept him in check. Because he likes coming on stunts and twists, though. But Dallas hasn't really given up anything on stunts and twists this year. They've been really good at that. the extra man coming in the box. They found a way and even our linebackers. I'm sorry, running backs. Javonte Williams, he's been picking up a lot of check blocks as well. Blitz packages. He's been picking it up too. Jaden Blue got creased on one. I don't want to see if they're going to rush. They're going to run when Jaden Blue's in there because they're going to crush him. Williams can pick up a block. Williams can pick up a block though. That's a good thing. But I didn't even know Greenlaw the suspension was upheld, so he's out this week. Okay, I like that. That's actually good for us. Yeah, I kind of like that. So going to this game here, I mean, Dallas is actually a dog as I've seen this. I believe they are a 1.5, a 1+1.5 underdog, Eddie. I believe
it's at Mile High, so that I can understand what.
I can see that too. Home field advantage. Usually a 3-point game here. This is a pick'em game, so I just want to double check, see how the line changed, Eddie, real quick. 1.5. Dallas is still 1.5 favorite underdogs here. What do you see? What do you see with this one here, Eddie? I mean, this is kind of a pick'em game, really, I guess. What do you see?
I see Jake Ferguson having a big game especially with Greenlaw out and not being able to play.
I agree.
And I see Lamb playing him in the slot. I see CD having a big game too.
Okay, wait a minute. I just looked at it. This is kind of surprising. Now, one on DraftKings, it's a lot different. Dallas Cowboys are +3.5 right now on DraftKings. On FanDuel, they're +1.5, 2-point swing. I guarantee if I go over to FanDuel, it's probably 3.5 now. Dallas is 3.5 underdogs, a 2-point swing in a matter of like a day. Vegas is not dumb, Eddie. They're pretty smart, man. They know what's up.
Yeah, but that must be probably before. I wonder what's going to be tomorrow. Yeah, I just don't think home field's that great. I don't think it's a good home field advantage, but not. I've seen teams with better home field advantage.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing to me is, I was watching that thing on the sideline where they talk about, listen to the players. George Pickens did say something where he said, he's like, oh, we on to next week. Who we got next week? Who we got next week? And somebody said Broncos. He's like, oh, we got to go to Mile High. And he goes, yeah, we're going there. He's like, oh, that altitude's hard, man. I don't know. Maybe the Mile High, if you don't play there as much, an NFC team comes to the Mile High, it's a little bit different. AFC teams, depending on your division, who you're playing against, they go there more often than NFC teams. But maybe, I mean, I don't think that's going to be a big issue, though. Do you?
Not for. I don't think for this team. Shoot, that might be giving an advantage to our kicker.
Yeah, the ball's going to be a little bit lighter, can travel a little bit. Aubrey, well, as long as we get to midfield, that's 3 points. Let's put it that way, Eddie. And congratulations to Aubrey last week, man. He's the only player in NFL history to kick 5 60-yard field goals in his career already in his third year. Congratulations to Brandon Aubrey, man. Wow, amazing. Maybe this week, Eddie, we said it all preseason. Maybe this is the week where we get Brandon Aubrey to kick a 70-yard field goal at Mile High, because the ball's lighter and it's going to travel, Eddie. Because you remember Brandon McManus years ago, he set the record. Remember before, where he kicked a 63 or something like that? He set the record, before it was touched. I think Aubrey at Mile High breaks the record this week too. Because, Eddie, during last week's game, do you remember where it was 4th down and it would have been a 70-yard field goal? I was thinking like, oh, my God, we're up 20 points. Give Aubrey the chance to let him come in and kick it one time and break the record right here. But they chose to punt it. I'm like, oh, my God, come on. You're up 20 points. Just let him come in. Let him kick it. Just come on. Just let him kick it. But what do you think score is, Eddie? Now, the over-under on this game is 50.5. I mean, you're looking at the way Vegas is looking at that. Denver wins in a 24-23 game, something like that. They think it's close. Do you think this game goes over 50 points combined?
I have Dallas 27, Denver 23.
I like your score. I like your score too. Here's the thing to me. Well, why do you say Dallas wins by 4, 27-23? What's your take behind that?
I think Dallas' defense will bend but not break enough where Denver's going to have to kick 3 field goals
Okay.
in that game.
Okay. Here's why I think Dallas wins this game, and I'll give you my score in a second. Our receivers, the way Dak is playing right now, offensive line is playing great. Ferguson's playing great. Our wide receivers are 1A, 1B. There is no, both are elite right now. Running game's on point. But when I say running game, who's coming back home, Eddie? Who's coming back home? Javonte Williams is coming back home to a team that you said you ain't good enough. You ain't good enough. We're going J.K. Dobbins instead of you. We're going J.K. Dobbins instead of Javonte Williams. He's coming home, Eddie. He's coming home. Coming off of a 100-yard game, Eddie. Do you think he's not circled this in his locker, Eddie? This game is circled mile high. I'm coming back. I'm home. I think Javonte Williams has a chip on his shoulder where we've seen him before lower that helmet, lower the shoulder. Eddie, I think whoever the son of a bitch is in front of him, I feel sorry for you. I think Javonte Williams carries the rock 20 times this week for 150. And that opens up the 8 to 9 guy box. And I'm going to say 7-man box there where you're going to have single coverage on the wide receivers and one safety over top. This is where Dak throws the ball deep. Javonte Williams sets up everything this week. Dallas wins this game 33-26 this week, I feel. I think it's all around Javonte Williams.
This is going to be Javonte's buckle up, boys game.
You know what, Eddie? I tell you what, man. I tell you what, that what you said right there, buckle up, still gives me like chills hearing Rico say that. But here's the thing. If I'm Javonte Williams, Eddie, I'm going on a little stream wherever I do, my little teaser for the Dallas Cowboy News. Hey, Bronco fans, you better pony up because I'm coming. Pony up. But here's the thing, Eddie. If you don't show out when you say it, you're going to look like a clown. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Because buckle up meant a lot to Rico, and Dallas did not buckle up. They did not buckle up. 200-some yards on the ground. They didn't buckle up. But Javonte Williams, I think he is the key this week. I'm going to go 33-26 Cowboys this week. I'm going to take Dallas plus the 3. I'm going to take Dallas money line, and I'm going to take Dallas over here, Eddie. I think Dallas has finally found the way where Denver does have good wide receivers. Sutton and Mims, they do have good wide receivers. But I think this defense, the front seven, has learned something. 4 sacks last week. I think they finally found something where the front seven plays a little bit better. Shamar James is a difference maker at linebacker. More speed, more IQ level. Sanborn being out. He's a tackler, but he can't make angles, as you said, Eddie. Shamar James is the angle guy. He can make tackles on the angle. He can spy. Murray can be this. Here's the thing. Murray should be the spy on Bo Nix this week. He has the speed, right and left, front and north, east, west. I think he's a spy on Bo Nix this week. And you let Shamar James be the read guy, the outside guy, the contact guy. And Mark, I'd see the only thing is you have to stay in your lanes, man. Clowney and Dante Fowler, they got to stay home, Eddie. They got to stay in their lanes because Bo Nix can get outside too. And if Dobbins gets in space, he can beat you. He has speed still, but I think Dallas wins this game, Eddie. I'm going to go 33-26 this week. 33-26. Yeah. Can't wait, Eddie. I hope we come back next week talking about another win, brother. I hope we do, man, because it feels good to win, Eddie. It feels good.
Yeah. To me, Denver's defense, Surtain is great and stuff, but Bonetta is pretty good. Is really good too, but the rest of that Denver defense doesn't scare me that much.
No, it doesn't. I mean, Surtain is, but to me, whoever Dallas has played so far, their best corners have been on, Lamb and Pickens. Even when Lamb was out, Pickens was in there 3 weeks by himself. He held his own every week, and he was going against the number 1 corner. He can make balls. And here's the thing, Eddie, with Pickens, he's to me the the PI getter, the pass interference getter. If he doesn't catch the ball, he knows how to draw a PI. I mean, last week, that one where, the ball was over his head, he couldn't make the catch. It was automatic PI because he went up for the ball. His height, you got to come down and bat the hands down. He's a PI getter. Automatic. That's he draws at least one a game, Eddie, for at least 30 yards every week.
And he probably draws a PI just because he's talking smack to whoever's defending him.
Oh, did you see that thing where him and Lattimore are going at it? I mean, every time, go, Eddie, on Facebook. I'll find the link and I'll send it to you. You get a chance, watch this, because that was something I've never seen Pickens talk. He said to Lattimore, he's like, "Man, you can't guard me. You can't guard me." He says, like, what have you been doing out here? Lattimore says, like, "What have you been doing out here? You ain't doing nothing out here." He's like, "You didn't see me catch that ball over your head? You're too small for me. You're too small." And then the next play was the one where he burned him across the middle for like 30 yards. And he goes like this. He's like, "Lattimore, where you at? Where you at? I don't see you out here. You still out here?" He trash talks you. He gets in your head. But I just love this wide receiver core, Eddie. I really do, man. I do. Eddie, before we get out of here, is there anybody you're eyeing in trade deadline right now? Key name that you're thinking about? I'm hearing Crosby, Eddie. I'm hearing Crosby. Yeah. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about it.
That's what I was going to say, Crosby, but I'm not sure if I want to give up so much for a guy that's not getting any younger.
Okay, Eddie, here it is. I'll play Las Vegas. You play, Jerry Jones here. Hey, Eddie. Eddie, how you doing, man? I hear you guys want Crosby. We're taking offers, man. I'm trying to get the best offer out there. This year, we're not making the playoffs. We made a stupid mistake with Geno. We don't know what's going on, man. We don't know what's going on. So we are talking. But what are you going to offer me, Eddie? What do you got? I know you guys got first 2 rounders this year from Green Bay, an extra, and the following year you got an extra pick from Green Bay. So you guys got 4 picks in the first rounds for the next 2 years, Eddie. Talk to me. What do you want to offer me?
We give you the Green Bay first round pick for 2026, like for this year, a 4th round pick this year, and a 2nd round pick next year. And you have to take Trevon Diggs off our hands.
No, hang up. They hung up, Eddie. I hung up real quick. You had me okay with the trades, but then when you said Trevon Diggs, I hung up the phone, Eddie. And I just called AT&T and changed my number real quick.
They moved Trevon Diggs to match the salaries.
Well, I don't think it matches the salary because here's my thing. I do want Crosby, Eddie. But, Eddie, you think about this. He is number 3 in sacks right now, okay? Regardless of what he does on a bad team. Eddie, he still wants that money. You paid Parsons, $45 million or almost damn near $50 million. Max Crosby has 2 years left on his contract, I believe. He's around 30-some million now, Eddie. Just imagine, what his price tag is going to be. In the next couple of years, it could be a Micah Parsons deal. To me, a guy there who I don't know his age, Eddie, but he's up there, Eddie. He's been around the league for a while. He's an older guy. But here's my thing. I don't want to give you a first-round pick next year, a first-round pick in 2027 because, Eddie, our offense is set. The offensive line has been signed. Lamb is signed. Dak signed. You still have to sign 2 big players next year. One, George Pickens. Sign him now. Call him in the office tomorrow morning. Get him signed right now. 4-year deal. Number 2, I think you found your running back, Eddie, and Javonte Williams. That's 2 players you have to sign right there. The other thing is, what is our downfall on this team, Eddie? Defensive side of the ball. You have 2 players in the top 25 next year, Eddie, that you're going to sign to the Dallas Cowboys in the first round. Build that defense. Go out and get the best damn corner out there. Go out and get the best damn defensive end out there, Eddie. Or, find the players out there because I think next year is not a rebuild year, but it is a piece of the puzzle next year on the defense side of the ball, Eddie.
Yeah, but let's see what we have in Bill. Because if Bill can ball out, then we might not need to use a first-round pick on a cornerback as much because we would have 2 pretty good cornerbacks if he's legit. Like, if he's the Bill we saw before he had his knee injury.
Yeah, I mean, if Siobhan Rebel comes back, Junior comes back healthy and looking good, the gazelle that he can be, but the only thing is that he played against lower schools, really like a D3 kind of situation. But if he can play ball, that's fine with me. Between him and Bland. But then you know what? Then Do you go defensive end maybe because you still have to sign Kenny Clark, number one too. Okay, you have to sign Kenny Clark. Odiggy's lined up. Fowler you can get rid of, okay, because you have a James Houston that can take over that spot there. Clowney's on a 1-year deal. I think he'll take a league minimum right now because he's still looking for a job. Keep him as a rotational player. Your linebacker is going to be fine. Overshown, Kenneth Murray, and Shamar James on a rookie deal. Okay, you have those guys lined up. To me, if Ravel plays ball, sign him up because he's still on his first-year deal of a 4-year deal. Then you go safety to me. You have to find the best safety out there. You have to.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, and say, Wilson, Donovan Wilson.
Yep.
So long.
Yep. See ya. Thank you for your time and service here, but we're done with you. We're done with you. And I agree, Eddie. If Ravel plays ball this year when he comes back from injury, I think you have to go safety, one of the 2 picks in the first round next year.
Yeah.
You know.
And if Ravel does blow out, then we could maybe use that second first round pick on maybe one of your Notre Dame running backs, because I think we could use two good running backs, and both of them can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Well, Jadarian Price is a junior, so I think he's going to stay and be the bell cow next year. Love, I definitely know is going to come out this year because he would have been arguably top 5 last year. So he's coming out this year. So, Eddie, let me ask you this before we get out of here. If Ravel plays and he looks like a starting corner opposite of Bland, okay, our defensive line looks okay, but we got to sign Clowney. We got to sign Clark. Other people can walk. Puzzle pieces. Linebackers are fine if Overshown comes back healthy. You let Donovan Wilson walk. Would you take safety first, which we talked about 100%, right? We agree with that. Would you take a running back? Let's say Green Bay gives us a 25th pick in their draft pick that we get from them, number 25. Would you take a running back if Jeremiah Love is sitting there at 25? Would you take him?
In a heartbeat.
Agree.
I would even consider taking Love with Dallas's first round pick because I think you can find a safety at 25.
I agree. I mean, you look at the Eagles last year where they got that kid from Texas, Mukabara, at like late second or something like that. Safeties do drop because they're not highly commendable right now, Eddie. I mean, your front 7 is where you're at. Corners, defensive tackles, O tackles, wide receivers, QBs. I think, to me, how high would you go up for Love though? I mean, Dallas right now, if they win this week, they're 4-3-1. 8 games into the season, 9 games left. Let's say possibly they win 10 games possibly this year. They're probably going to be between 16 and 20 for draft picks next year with missing the playoffs. So let's say if we sit at 18, would you take Love at 18?
I think he's going to be gone by 12.
I agree. I think he's the Ashton Gente this year, Eddie. And the best thing is he can catch the ball out of the backfield too.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And the Price leaves too because he's probably could be a late first round pick himself.
Yeah, I was reading something on Notre Dame. They did say Love is definitely going to be coming out this year. Of course, we already know that. But they talked about Jadarian Price being you could be a front runner for a Heisman. Because I think I put in the group chat, Eddie, where I love this. To me, it's like CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens for Notre Dame. Being running backs there, Price and Love. They talked about, Jeremiah, you were a Heisman candidate, playing running back for the year you had before, coming into preseason All-American. You haven't scored. Jadarian Price's numbers are actually better than Jeremiah Love's this year, Eddie. That's to me is like kind of surprising. But to me, it's not about the stats, it's about the wins with Notre Dame. To me, it's unfinished business last year from Ohio State. It's unfinished business. Stats don't mean a thing. I think Jadarian Price does stay one more year so he can be the lead back next year. That's what I'm thinking. But, man, if Jadarian Price does come out, Eddie, I'd take either one of them, man. You give me him second round. Give me Jeremiah Love round 1. If Jeremiah Love is gone at 15 and we're picking 18, go out and get me that damn number 1 safety in the college then. And then you know what? Come back at 25, give me Jadarian Price. I'll take both of them right away. Take them off the board. Another offensive weapon. And just think, Eddie, it's going to be the same situation with Javonte Williams signing a smaller contract, maybe a $5 million deal next year. And you have Jadarian Price or Jeremiah Love on a rookie deal for 4 years. Oh, I'll take that any day. Take that any day. That would be the best offense in the NFL right now. with a young O-line, hell yeah, I'll take it any day. Any day, Eddie. But we have to work on the defense, Eddie. We have to work on the defense, man.
And we'll probably take another offensive tackle somewhere in the draft too, just because Steele's not any younger.
Yeah, but you know what, Eddie? We talked about the weakest link on the offensive line. You know, we downed Terrence Steele the entire year, off season, Eddie. But he's not giving up sacks. He's not being the turnstile. He's playing ball right now, Eddie. He's playing ball. I mean, he started every game. He hasn't given up sacks, and he's getting downfield, Eddie. He's playing good ball right now. I mean, I don't think it's a need. Maybe later in fourth or fifth round, you go out and get a project right tackle, but I don't think that's a need right now.
Yeah, but I think Steele's contract runs out after this year too. So
I think this is his last year. Yeah, that I think about it. Yeah.
His age, he's past 30. So do you really want to stick with him long term?
Ooh, you're right about that, Eddie. I really didn't think about that because we talked about all off season this year. If we cut him this year, it would be a 17 million cap. Let him go now. You know, bite the 17 million instead of paying him 22. But you're right. I mean, possibly we do need. I mean, we don't look at it, but to become the youngest offensive line in NFL, go out and get in a right tackle. You know, a solid right tackle, a swing tackle, or something like that. But I think we still go defense first because that's our issue right now. We can't stop people on defense. Offense. With this, here's the thing: with Ryan Connor at offensive line coach, Eddie, I think he can make me and you a right tackle right now. The way his scheme is, I mean, he just puts players in positions to find what they're good at. You know what I mean? I mean, he's took this guy and molded them here and put this guy here, and we're still top 5 in the NFL on the offensive line, Eddie. So I do agree with you. Possibly right tackle, maybe third round possible project.
Or even a left tackle can put right in that right tackle. Depends on if the best tackle available is a left tackle.
Eddie, I'll tell you what, man. I think that probably the number 1 pick or number 2 pick is that kid Bell out of Miami. Do you see him? 6'9", 335 pounds. You're not moving him left tackle. That can move like a gazelle. Man, goodness gracious. I hope he has off the field issues because come to Dallas at 18 and move Guyton over to right, that solidifies the youngest offensive line in the NFL. We're set for 7 to 8 years easy, Eddie.
And Bill has a teammate on the defensive side that is in the conversation too.
Yes, Bain. He is. Yes, he is nasty. Yeah.
And can't forget about Caleb. If the Dallas's pick is around 12, would you consider trading up for a Caleb Downs if Caleb Downs is in the draft?
It depends. You know what? I don't know, but we talked about it for Ravel. If Ravel plays ball, you know, I'm going to keep Ravel. I don't need that corner. But I don't think. Here's the thing, Eddie. Caleb Downs is arguably probably the best corner in college right now.
Safety.
That's right. He can play. So he can play corner too. He can come down the ball.
He's the unicorn in college football.
I don't want to move up to him. I don't want to move up, Eddie, because it depends on what I have to give you. If I'm going to give you, I don't think Dallas is going to be in. I think Dallas is going to be right around 20. I think Caleb is probably going to be we seen the Miami corner last year drop. The Michigan corner. What was his name, Eddie?
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson dropped that. He was a projected top 6 pick. He dropped to damn near 30. You know. So the corners can drop, safeties can drop. I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to move up that far to get Caleb Downs. I don't know. To me, he's a great safety corner. But Eddie, here's the thing. Everybody in that Ohio State defense, to me, a lot of them are product of the system, Eddie. Product of systems. They have 10 All-Americans on the field at one time. They're going to look good. You know, that's the thing. I want to, because last year, Caleb Downs didn't have the best BCF playoffs, Eddie. He got burned a lot. You know, Ohio State got burned a lot. They had to give up points to score points. They didn't look good against top-notch, you know, running games. They played better. Notre Dame, they played great because Notre Dame, all they could do was run the ball. When they played other teams, they struggled a little bit in that downfield game there. So I don't want to move up for Caleb Downs. I don't think if he dropped, though, sign him up. Put the card in right away. put the card in right away, but I'm not going to move up for them. But Eddie, before we get out here, you got the Cowboys winning this week. I got the Cowboys winning this week. Sunday, we got them at it's going to be a 4:15 game there, 4:25 game in Mile High. Eddie, what's your final thoughts this week, man? Coming off a Dallas Cowboy win.
We might probably have this is the receiving combo we have is the best receiving combo Dallas has ever had, and Lamb and Pickens. Nothing against Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper.
Okay. I was gonna say, wow, Eddie, that's some big shoes to fill right there. You know. Go ahead, finish up.
Come on, taking Alvin Harper over Pickens or Lamb. Nobody would do that.
No. My final thoughts this week, man, coming off a win this week, feels really great to talk positive about the team. Things that happened in first 6 weeks, we did build on it. Defense, it looks a little bit better regardless of who we played, minus who we played. But the book is still not written for me on Eberflus. He has to still get better. He has to put the players in the right position for me. But a win is a win. This week we go out and get a win, versus a still elite team in the AFC, Denver on the road, which puts us at 4-3-1. If the Eagles lose this week, Eddie, which I don't know if they will lose this week against the Giants, but it is what it is. Anything can happen. We've seen that, but puts us right in playoff contention, Eddie. We're still on playoff contention when we really didn't think we could be, So now, Eddie, I know tomorrow, the Friday night, we are not doing a show tomorrow, Friday night for the College Football Frenzy, correct? You have a prior thing to do, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, if you're out there watching, if you have 32 live viewers on Twitter, X, everywhere we're watching, we will not be live this Friday. And the following Friday, we'll be off too. We might try to come up with another night to do it real quick because Halloween, it's time to go scare some little kids out there. I think this year I'm going to dress up as a Matt Eberflus costume, Eddie. I'm going to have my playbook. That's what I'm going to do. Act like I'm a defensive coach. So I think I'm going to dress up as Matt Eberflus this year. We'll think about that.
I thought you were going to dress up as Trevon Diggs, the way you were talking about falling down and having a concussion.
Oh, Eddie, I could do that right here. Hey, this is Paul, Cowboys Weekly, guys. Eddie, I got to sign off, Eddie. I think I got a concussion, Eddie. I think I got it. Yeah, I got a concussion. Hey, Eddie, I'm not going to make it to work tomorrow. I got a concussion, man. Yeah. That's how easy that would be, Eddie. You're right. Oh, man. Trevon Diggs, just pack your bags. You did see he put his house up for sale, right?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. I was just checking it out, and somebody put his house is on one of the websites out there for like $4.5 million that it's up for sale. And it happened like 3 days before his concussion. So some guy chimed in. He was like, I don't think it's real, because I was like, well, he put his house up before the concussion. It wasn't after the concussion. So he was thinking clearly. He knew he was getting cut or getting traded or, let go. So he put his house up for sale, then came up with the concussion. Because, Eddie, do you know, I realized this before we get out of here. I realized something. In the NFL, your contract can only be relinquished is if you get traded, cut, or bought out by another team. If it is a medical discrepancy where you're out for the entire year, protocol of an injury, IR, PRP, or concussion protocol, you still get paid by the team no matter what. I think his agent called and said, hey, fall down and got a concussion, because they're going to trade you. This way you still get the whole full contract from the Dallas Cowboys this year. I think his agent said something to him, Eddie. I think so. Who knows? But, guys, before we get out of here real quick, I just want to let you know we will not be on Friday Night College Football Frenzy with Eddie and I. Tomorrow night, Eddie, if you're more than welcome to hop on with us, Dan and I, we're going to be talking about the whole entire NFL this week. NFL Weekly Talk tomorrow night. Actually, it's going to be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we're going to be on. Dan will be on with the 7. Eddie will be on. Myself will be talking the entire NFL slate. So you're good for us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Don't you have an advertisement that you would like to play?
I'm glad you said that. I am glad you said that, Eddie. 1-800-HURT-123. Attorney Big Al, Jason Fine, motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims. 3 convenient locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. First in New Jersey, Cherry Hill, 3 Greensboro Lane, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, PA, 1628 Suite 2100, home of the greased polls out there when the Philadelphia Eagles win something. So if you're out there, please sue the hell out of the Philadelphia area because we can't stand them. Also in Pittsburgh, 500 Grand Street, Suite 2900. Make sure you mention Out of the Box Sports Entertainment for your guaranteed no recovery, no fee. And the guaranteed rate is 33.33%. Highly unheard of by any lawyer in the United States. And Jay Fine is a good friend of mine, personal friend of mine for over 30 years, my former boss and still my boss. So top 3 lawyer in Pennsylvania right now is recommended by top 50 lawyers in the United States. So he's number 3 right now and number 2 in Pennsylvania. So make sure you reach out to him. And thank you for that, Eddie, because yeah, we needed to do that. And
he's one lawyer that would not take Trevon Diggs' case on his BS concussion.
No, you know, the funny thing is I was talking to Jason 2 days ago, and he's an Eagles fan, and we were talking, and I said something like, man, I can't stand Trevon Diggs. He's like, that son of a bitch, I wouldn't represent him either. I was like, well, he just fell. He might have a case. He's like, that son of a bitch is a fraud. And that's coming from a Jewish lawyer, too. You know what I mean? Who's all about money, and he's an Eagles fan, too. I wouldn't take that son of a bitch's case. He's a fraud. Sorry, Paul. You guys keep him. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. But, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. My name is Paul Spencer. That is Eddie Prather. This is Cowboys Weekly on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Cowboys Weekly every Wednesday night, 9:30. Until then, we'll see you next week, everybody. Enjoy the game, and let's go Cowboys.
Game strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk.